Well, welcome everyone to an exciting new season of Goffstown Grizzly Wrestling. Goffstown opened up on the road for a couple matches. Started off the season at Winnicunnet with a good in-division win there. And then moved on to wrestle Keene out of division. A tough Keene team, actually. So we didn't fare too well against Keene. Had some really great matches, especially with Alden Harvey at 106 pounds. Great match at 106 there for Alden to start his freshman campaign off. Tonight we're going to start at 170 pounds. And it was going to be no contest at 170. So it looks like Milford decided to bump their 170, Ricky DeBernardo, up to 182 and rested Charlie Keith. It looks like Milford had choice there, or Goffstown had choice there. Didn't send out David Gibson. He's been battling an injury at the Hollis Brookline Nor'easter last week. He had a great win over actually the #1 ranked wrestler in the tournament in his weight class. Had a great win there, and then was in a match battling and ended up getting cut, so he wasn't able to go. Looks like Ricky with a quick takedown, and he's got Charlie on his back. Charlie does a really good job of fighting off there. But Ricky looks like he's got full boots in there. He's mounted up. Charlie doing a good job of getting his shoulder off the mat there. He's going to get some more back points, and what Charlie's looking to do is try to get his right arm squeezed through there, but it's trapped. He's doing a good job of getting his shoulders off. Still fighting off his back, which is what you want to see, especially this early in the season. You just want to see some fight in your athletes. DeBernardo is probably Milford's best wrestler. Up a few weight classes. He started off around the 130 range a couple years ago, so he's really gained some weight, and he just stepped over now. Charlie's in a really bad position here on bottom, and he's going to pick up the fall for Milford to start that match off at 182. He's going to pick up 6 points for Milford there. Tough home match for Charlie there. Charlie coming off last season, starting off at JV, then breaking into the varsity lineup late in the season. Actually had a really good late end of the season. So we'll see what he can do this season, coming off last season with just a little bit of experience. So this year we're hoping to build off of that experience and hopefully see some good things from Charlie. You can hear the music in the background. That's going to start our 195-pound match. So we have Eli Antonello. And for Milford, they weighed in a couple people, so not sure who they're wrestling here at 195. They didn't weigh in anybody, but they're probably bumping their 82, which I'm expecting that they weighed in their 82, bumped to 95 is what they're happening. So in these upper weights, you're going to see a lot of bumping, especially with teams like Milford, who's not really deep. They had a few weight classes, and that's a great high crotch by Eli Antonello, and what a great takedown. Didn't get the 2, but what a great high crotch. Couldn't finish that 2 there. What we're looking to hopefully do is finish that. He had him, just didn't finish that takedown, but really good high crotch there. Good motion from Eli. And again, going for another high crotch. Wants to get heavy on the. It doesn't want to get up on the. Doesn't want to get up on the head there. He wants to pinch the elbow, not up on the head. We don't want to swim up on the head there. We want to pinch the elbow. And he's got to turn the corner for 2. What a great job for Eli. That's a great takedown for Eli. Again, Eli, senior, cracking into the varsity lineup for the first time. Had a tough kind of start to the season. We've been in some pretty good tournaments. The Salem Blue Devil Classic was our first varsity tournament of the season. Saw some really good competition there, and then also saw some really good competition at the Hollis Brookline Nor'easter. And he's looking like he's locking up a cradle here. He's got to get to the side, which he does, and he's going to get some back points here if he can. Can't hold on to it, but he did a really good job of locking up the cradle and then getting hip to hip, which is what we want to see on that cradle. You want to come out to the side, get hip to hip, and then get some back points and maybe a pin. And it looks like they're going to go out of bounds. So far, a good first period for Eli. We've got 36 seconds left to go in the first period. He's up 2-0. Here the coach is in the corner just to tell Eli kind of just to slow down and work his match here. Really good, actually, 2 takedowns. He only got points for 1 there. The first one wasn't a takedown, but it should have been. Eli just didn't finish. So really good, two good takedowns for him in that first period. He's got that far ankle, working that. Really good breakdown there. He's working heavy on top, pinching the hips. Really good job. Looks like he's trying to get a half on that one side. He's got to jump to it. He's going to do a good job jumping to that side. He's going to lower his chest here and try to get his chest rolled in. Rookie's going to stop. It looks like he might have went for a full Nelson. So he's going to get a 1-point technical violation against him. So it's going to be 2-1. I couldn't see on the far side from where I'm sitting, but it looks like he did go full Nelson. So the ref, Rookie Olsen there, is calling that a technical violation. So it's going to be 2-1 with 20 seconds left to go in the first. And again, Eli going for that far ankle. Really good job of skying it is what we teach him. He doesn't want to give up another point here. He wants to get his hip high. Nice job. 10 seconds left to go in the first period. Eli's got to finish this period 2-1. He's getting a little high, which we don't want to see. And Rookie's going to stop that. And another, I couldn't see him going for that full there, but it looks like Rookie's calling that. So that's going to be 2-2 with 4 seconds left to go. Coaches may want to think at this point, since he's got 2 technical violations, if he ends up on top again, maybe just turning this into a takedown game. Eli looked really good neutral, so it might want to be just a takedown game so he's not getting into those kind of situations. And that's going to be the end of the first period. It's going to be 2-2. 2 takedown points for Eli in that first period and 2 technical violations. We're going to go neutral starting the second period. Again, there was no contest at 170, so no team points awarded. Charlie Keith with getting pinned at 182. And that's going to be a stop there. Not sure what the ref is calling there on that stoppage. It's going to be 2-2. I don't think they started the clock is the problem. So Milford's coach is going to argue that they were going in on 2, but you can't argue that, unfortunately. He was in on that shot, but unfortunately that's just the circumstances of what just happened. So he's going to argue to Rookie, but I don't think that's going to end up happening anything. So they're going to start this second period with 1 minute and 52 seconds left to go, 2-2. Milford was in on the shot, but unfortunately Rookie called the stoppage before anything was happening. Any takedowns were happening. So it's just going to be 2-2 with 1 minute and 52 seconds left to go in the second period. And here we go. Good ties there for Eli. He wants to pummel in. He's looking for another high crotch, it looks like. He's got to change his levels, and he does, but he's shooting in down is the problem. So he shot in down. He's got to pop his head. He's going to want to try to pop his head to the side and finish. That's going to alleviate them getting to our ankle. So unfortunately, Eli wasn't able to kind of sink his hips, pop his head out to the side, and get that takedown. So it's 4-2. Milford in the lead here. Eli's got to try to get up to his base, which he does. Good job there. Try to get back to 1. Try to get an escape here with 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the first period. Milford's looking pretty heavy on top. He's got a half Nelson. Eli does a good job of looking away and peeling that off. Trying to work that half Nelson on that side. Eli's got to be smart here, know where he is, maybe try to get a restart, and he does. So this may come down to a conditioning match in the third period. Both wrestlers have been wrestling pretty tough for takedowns, so it might come down to a third period, say who's got the more oxygen in the third period maybe. So looking to Eli to push this pace here, maybe try to gas this Milford opponent out in the third period. And we're going to have a caution on Milford. Arm's got to be on that elbow on top, and he wasn't, so Rookie adjusted him. Milford's got that far ankle. He's got to go to it. He's got to turn to it, peel it, and then get up, which is what we teach. When they're on the ankle, you kind of got to sit through it, turn that ankle, post that arm down off that ankle. Looks like Milford's got a half. Can't really see. Eli does a good job of getting his hips down there. 30 seconds left to go in the second period. 4-2, Milford up. Gonna really need a big push for the lighter weights tonight for Goffstown. It doesn't look like, it looks like Milford's got a half here. Eli's got to fight this off for 15 seconds left. Do not want to get pinned here. Nice job on Eli, just fighting that off. And he's got it in deep. This might be trouble for Eli. This is going to look like a pin, and it is for Milford. That's a big pin at 195 pounds. And that just means Goffstown's got to do some really good damage on these lower weights and these middle weights. Josh White's going to be coming up at 220. Need a really good showing for Josh. Unfortunately, he's coming off a back injury that he suffered at the Nor'easter Invitational. But looks to be healthy. Has a really good start to the season. Been wrestling really well. I think of everybody that's been out on the varsity lineup, I would say Josh White has been probably wrestling the best. Josh really needs to, for Goffstown's sake, just to kind of get the momentum back going into the Grizzlies' way here. Obviously, right now, momentum in Milford's way. They're up 12-0. They had a pin at 182, a pin at 195. So let's see what Josh can do at 220. His opponent's just a freshman, Rory O'Connor. So let's see what Josh can do to hopefully take advantage of it. Nice double leg there. He's got his head in between the legs. He's got to try to get his head out to the outside and try to finish. His opponent's looking to come up. Don't want to get headlocked there. Josh does a good job of keeping his hips back. Probably the only chance for Milford in this match, I would think, is if they catch Josh in a headlock. So he's got to be paying attention to that. Nice job of jumping out to the side, trying to break his opponent down, maybe come up to a cat's paw. Does a half Nelson in there. So does a really good job there. He's going to try to get a turn here. Does get a turn. He's got to sink his hips back. He's got to sink his hips back down, and does. It looks like he's got a good position here. He does a nice job of attacking that arm. He's going to have to try to get his hips back, sink back down, and try to get chest to chest here. He's going to be up 5-0, and the rookie's going to call them out of bounds. Got to be finishing those pins there. So hopefully Josh can get another half Nelson in there, but he did a really good job of breaking his opponent down, getting him on his back, almost getting the pin. Looked like from where I was sitting at that pin could have been called, but didn't get the call there. But Josh needs to get back into that position. Looks like he did a really good job breaking him down. He could do a suck back here and does. So he's got a nice job of sucking back his opponent. And now he's got him again. He could turn over here, grab that arm on that far side. He's going to jump over. He's going to be up 8-0 here with those 3 near fall points. So he's got 2 sets of 3 near fall points and a takedown. So he's going to be up 8-0. He's got to watch out for a tech here. Rather see a pin than a tech at 220 here. Try to get the momentum really going back in the Goffstown side. A pin at 220 would do just that. He's got to be careful here that he doesn't get into another full Nelson. That half is there. He might want to try, which he did there. He tried a little power half. Get your forearm down on the kind of the neck area of his opponent. And what that does is basically gets them flat and maybe potentially pushes their arm up. And then we can run a half Nelson. He's got a one-on-one on the far side. And he's really trying to fish for that half on that near side. He's going to run out of time here. So he's going to be up 8-0 going into the second period unless he gets some more back points here. He might get some quick back points here. And it's unfortunate because he had that one-on-one and a half in pretty tight at the end of that period. So that's 3 times he's had him turned over. Milford's going to choose top here, so Josh is going to start on bottom. Again, team score is 12-0. Nice job starting off the whistle on Josh. You saw how he cleared his hand there. He's going to have to work that grip out. Did a really good job there of getting that grip off. Again, Josh coming off an injury, so he wasn't really in practice the last few days, so he might be just kind of getting some rust out, but he's had some pretty strong tournaments this season, so I think the coaching staff is happy with how he started this season. So doesn't want to get broken down, wants to try to hopefully get back to his base, doesn't want to get turned for sure. He's got to work hand control. Again, Goffstown's been working that a lot. Nice job of getting up. How he worked hand control there, got free, went to his base, and popped right up to a stand-up. So that's exactly what we've what we've been hopefully going over in the room with them and they've been picking up is just fighting for that hand control on bottom. So important. Changing levels off there, trying to do a snap down, gets down to a double situation. He's got to watch out he doesn't get turned here. Nice job of limp arming out of that. Really nice job of limp arming out of that. Could have gotten turned there, but nice job of limp arming out. So that's going to be another 2 points for a takedown for Josh. He's up 11-0 with a turn. He's going to have to stick him here. Let's see if he can stick him. He's got to get chest to chest. And there he does. What a nice showing for Josh White at 220 pounds. First home match of the season, picking up the pin, getting some momentum back in the Goffstown's direction. Nice job. Hasn't been practicing all week. Wrestles tough in front of the home crowd and gets the pin in the second period. Nice job from Josh White. Really gritty performance for him. And that's going to bring up 285 heavyweight. See who Milford brings out. They haven't been bringing out many people on varsity on heavyweight. They have a freshman, we've been told, at heavyweight. They haven't been bringing them out. Let's see what happens here. Matt Dalton's going for the Grizzlies. Just a freshman in the lineup. It looks like they're sending out Tim Whelan at heavyweight, who is a sophomore. So let's see what Matt Dalton can do. Heavy task for a freshman coming out in front of a home crowd. First home match of the season. First varsity match for Matt Dalton at the high school level. So let's see what he can do. Really athletic kid. Nice job getting down to a double. Really nice job. He's got the half on the far side. Nice job sinking a half on the far side. He jumped to it. He's got to sink his hips here. Does a really good job of loading that half. He's going to pick up the pin at 285. And what a start for Matt Dalton. That's exactly what the coaching staff and the team needed. What a start for Matt Dalton. Great freshman performance there. A lot to ask for a freshman. He did a really good job of changing his levels there. Let's hope the Milford opponent is okay. It looks like he might have hurt his ankle there. You hear the crowd clapping for him. Definitely don't want to see an injury, but a really good performance for Matt Dalton. Great job. That's going to tie the team match score up at 12. Again, getting the momentum back into Goffstown's favor going into 106 and 113. They're going to send out Ryan Mackey for the forfeit. Milford doesn't have a 106-pounder, so Ryan Mackey is going to be sent out for Goffstown to pick up the 6 points. And we'll see what happens at 113. When I was in the weigh-ins earlier today, their 113-pounder did not make weight, which kind of jostles the lineup around for Milford. So their 113-pounder, I'm assuming, is going to jump to 120. They did not weigh in a 6, so they don't have a 6, which means they won't have a 13 as well. Ryan Mackey's going to pick up the 6 points for Goffstown. That's going to bring the team score to 18-12. And then we have Alden Harvey, who is the varsity 106-pounder. He's had a really good start to his freshman campaign. 106-pound division right now is pretty tough. He's going to pick up the forfeit for Goffstown. Going to see some really good things out of Alden over these next 3 years. I'm excited to 4 years. He's only a freshman, so I'm excited to watch him grow. Same with the next wrestler for Goffstown, who's the 113-pounder. Really a light 113-pounder for Goffstown. He's just weighing in at about 108, 109. So he's given up some weight at 113. And that's Brandon Demers for Goffstown. Not sure who the Milford opponent is. It's not the 13-pounder that missed weight, so not sure. They might bump him to 26. Not sure what they're doing. It didn't look like the 13-pounder that missed weight for Milford. So let's see what Brandon can do here. Does a really good job of getting his hips back. Almost had a ice pick there if he could have got on the chin. It looks like he's got it there. He's working the front head. He's going to spin around. He's going to try to block that arm when he's spinning. So if he can circle to it, and if you can hear the coaching staff, which you probably can't, want to get the head in the hole there on that spin. We went over front headlocks the last couple of weeks, so he's doing a good job there getting on the front head. He needs to get his hips back still there. The Milford opponent's going to try to crowd his hips, and he does just that and picks up the 2 points. And it looks like Brandon's going to get a 1-point escape. but they went out of bounds. So he's going to be down 2-0 with just over a minute left in the first period. Coaching staff is urging Brandon on to go right off the whistle, pick up this pace here. He is giving up some weight at 113 and does a nice job of getting up and getting out. It's going to be a big match for Brandon, possibly a big match for the team points as well. So this could be a big pivot for the team score going into 120. 120 is going to be no contest for Goffstown, so they're going to pick up, Milford's going to pick up 6 there, and then we'll see what happens at 126 with Nathaniel Fowler. Nice job on that outside single with Demers. See if he can finish. He's got a really good high crotch. He does a really good job of getting over to that hip. Got to make sure you don't get chin whipped there. Really good outside single. Just got to be finishing that. Milford does a good job of getting inside. It looks like he might potentially finish, but they're going to go out of bounds. He got lucky there. They're going to go back to neutral, 2-1 with 24 seconds left to go in the first period. Again, a slow shot. Brandon's got to be quicker on getting his hips back, and he's got to watch out he doesn't get called for stalling, which he just did. He's got to get a little quicker on those hips. Got to get a little quicker on that sprawl because the shots are coming in slow. Nice job, a little high crotch there. 15 seconds left to see if he can get to that. Doesn't want to get his hips. He might potentially have a dump here if he can get on that elbow. Wants to still attack that leg. The Milford opponent's gonna hook the top leg and get over for 2. So that's gonna be 4-2. Check that. Yeah, it should be 4-1 should be the score there. It should be 4-1. They have the scoreboard, which I can't see if you guys can see at home, but they have the scoreboard at 4-3. Coaching staff looks like they got that fixed, so it's 4-1 going into the second period. Goffstown will be down there. Don't even think the team scores right. They have 24-12 there, but Goffstown picked up a fall at, no, I'm sorry, they picked up 2 falls. That's right, 220, 285, 106, 113, so the score is right, 24-12. Brandon starting down on bottom here in the second period. Does a nice job of getting away. Unfortunately, runs out of bounds, but he does a really good job of hand fighting there, getting out. Unfortunately, he was just run out of bounds. Let's see if he can start that over again. Minute 45 left to go in the second period. Hand fighting there on bottom. Does a nice job of getting back up. He's got to cut his hips. Could potentially have a standing switch if he needed to there. Looks like Milford's looking for a cradle. He's getting real high on top. Again, hand fighting on bottom. Brandon doesn't want to break his hips down there. He wants to get his hips up. Milford might have a ball and chain, working on a ball and chain on top. Can't really tell there. He's got the turn there, but Brandon does a good job of getting through there. He's going to pick up some back points. Can't really tell where they're on the mat here. Looks like he's got his shoulder up from my side. He's got a... Looks like they're out of bounds. The new rules here, there's new rules here where if you could see it from where you guys are at home, if your toes are in, so the top of Milford's toes were in, but his knees were off the mat. So that's technically out of bounds. Your knees have to be on the mat there. It's kind of a weird new rule, which doesn't make too much sense because you can drag your toes for a takedown and you're technically still in bounds. But when you're going for a near fall, when you're going for a pin, you have to have those knees down, not the toes. Milford had his toes down, but his knees were up, so that would have been out of bounds. And it was out of bounds for a little while, and rookie finally called it. So with those near fall points, it's going to be 7-1 with 30 seconds left to go. Milford's on top here. Looks like he might be trying to work an arm bar there. He's got a far ankle, almost a cradle there. Brandon does a good job of working back up. Could switch there, but doesn't. Just got to start chain wrestling on bottom. Got to go from move to move, and that's the difference going from middle school, really. Looks like he got a Turk in on that side. He's got to elevate it. Milford's got to try to elevate that Turk. He is going to pick up some points. Going to run out of time there. So I can't tell if it was a 5 count for 3. Nope, he just got a 2. So it's going to be 9-1, which right now is a major. So Brandon's got to pick up some points so he doesn't get majored here at 113. So Brandon's going to start down again. He's got to beat the whistle here and try to get up. Got a little bit beat there. Again, hand control, hand fighting. Does a really good job there, hand fighting. Nice job getting back up. He's got the switch there, so he's got to be chain wrestling. And that's, again, what, as I was saying before, that's the difference between middle school and high school level is middle school you could get away with just hitting one move. High school, you got to be chain wrestling. You got to go from move to move. So if their stand-up's not there, right to a switch. And it looks like he's going to get turned here. Does a really good job of going right through. Could ice pick him. Could ice pick him here. He's trying to get his hips through that ice pick. Almost does a good job there of get his opponent, but he's got 1 point. I don't know if he gave him the 1 point escape. I don't think he did, so the coaching staff is telling him to just back out and get the 1. He's got the 1 there, so that's going to be 9-2. I thought he gave the 1 point escape, but didn't. Again, slow shots for Milford, and Brandon's getting taken down by those. So that's something that hopefully he'll be working on later in the season, so he's not getting taken down by really not great shots on Milford's angle. They're slow, no setups at all, so we got to be watching out for those and really defending those, getting our hips back aggressively and not hitting our stand-ups, hitting them slow. He's going to get turned again and pinned, unfortunately. That's a big pin for Milford. A really big pin for Milford. That's going to bring them within 6 points. Again, this duel is going to be close. And I think it's these middle matches coming up that are going to be all the difference. They have some really good weights. Milford, we haven't seen much of them, but we've heard they got some really good weights coming up in the 30s and 40s and in the 50s. So, I mean, anything can happen really here with the team score, especially being so close at going into 120. It looks like there's no contest at 120. So this is going to be 126. Looks like there was no contest at 120. So this is going to go right into 126. They had a 20, so not sure why they didn't send the 20 there. But I believe that was a no contest at 20. Anyway, at 126, we have Nathaniel Fowler, and who I believe is junior Charlie Carter for Milford. Not sure. He's in on a shot. And there we go. We see Fowler getting back, getting his hips back, working down to the head, which is what Demers should have been doing. Fowler did a better job there doing it. So it looks like we did have no contest at 120 because they didn't change his team score. Obviously, Milford didn't bring anybody out. Again, another weak shot there. Fowler's getting his hips back, does a nice job of cross-facing, defending that shot there, and he's in on a leg here. He's in on a single. He's got to pull down on that arm. He's getting that back ankle torn up, which is not what we want. Again, he's head down in between the legs. We want to get the head out, pop the head out, turn the corner. They're going to go out of bounds and get a restart with 1 minute and 18 seconds left. Again, another big match for Goffstown. Goffstown needs this at 126. Fowler's had a tough season, tough opponents. This could be a winnable match for Fowler, and I think Goffstown needs it at this point. Get the momentum back going. Milford had that pin there. Milford posted that, went in for a shot. Fowler's working his hips back, working down to the head. It looks like he's going to get taken down, but they go out of bounds. A little bit controversial there. It looked like they might have been in there, but it looks like they were out of bounds, at least from rookie's standpoint, the ref standpoint. So they're going to get a restart. Lucky for Fowler there. He's got to be a little bit more aware of that shot coming in. Nice job of catching that head. He's got to work down to the head, attack the ankle if he can, work the front head. Work the front head. He's got to work that front head, snap that front head. He's going to get hit for stalling. Fowler's going to get hit for stalling for going out. Backing up, too much backing up there. 30 seconds left to go, score 0-0. Fowler looks like he's pressuring in. Don't want to pressure in too much. We want to circle, level change, and then go. Again, working down to the head, crossface. He's got to crossface that harder, attack the ankle in that crossface. We're not really crossfacing that hard there. Nice job of breaking him down. Again, that's what happens when you crossface harder. You're going to break the opponent down. Nice job of Fowler. Looks like he might have a cradle locked up. He does have a cradle locked up. He's going to get some back points here, looking for a fall, but they're going to go out of bounds. Nice job getting some back points. He only got 2, didn't get to a 5 count. Nice 2 and 2 there. 2-point takedown, 2-point near fall, so he's going to be up 4-0 with 3 seconds left to go in the first period. Nice series there for Fowler. Again, I'd like to see him get a little bit more aggressive with that crossface, not just putting your hand there, really coming across with that. And that's how the period's going to end. 4-0 for Nathaniel Fowler. Goffstown's going to defer in the second period. Milford looks like he is going to pick down. Head coach was yelling at him whether or not he wanted to go down or neutral. Milford decided to go down. So Fowler's got to watch out here. Again, if he thinks he might get turned, which again, known for rolling, we don't want to get rolled. So if anything, let your opponent go, let him get the 1, and then go back to work. We don't want to get rolled to our back. That's the last thing we want to do. Bishop Girton, another team that rolls a lot. Milford, they do roll, so you got to watch out for that. I'm sure the coaching staff went over that this week with the kids. On top, watching out for that roll. You know, one way to avoid that is just hooking a Western on top. We teach a pinch and sag there, and that's what he does. Nice job for Fowler getting his opponent back down. We've got to work some breakdowns. He's got to watch his height. He's getting in a little bit high there. He's got to jack that near ankle up. Unfortunately, he's on the far ankle. So right there, we want it to be on the near ankle. Jack that near ankle up, then fish up for a half. He was on the far ankle. So just little things, especially at the high school level, little things are huge. So Fowler's doing a good job of getting some good riding time here in this second period, even though we don't count riding time in high school, but still good. Nice getting the clock down. He's got a minute to go in the second period, 4-0. So he's comfortable here. He's doing a good job of getting his hips tight on top. I'd like to see him a little bit tighter on top. You can see a little bit of air in between him and the opponent, which we don't want to see. He's got a cradle locked up. Almost got some back points there, but wasn't enough for a 2 count. Working a 1-on-1. I'd like to see him work a 2-on-1, but he's got a 1-on-1. It looks like he's working a half on that side. Again, it looks like he's got the far ankle. Again, I'd like to see him get that near ankle. And they're going to go out of bounds. 30 seconds left to go in the second period. 4-0. Fowler's up. Again, a big match for Goffstown here. If they can pick up the win, that would be great. Put them ahead in team score 11 points instead of, 9 points. They're up 6 right now. So a win here will put them up to 9 points. So to me, Fowler's got to watch out of riding him out. He's already got a stall call. So if we're just getting on the ankle and kind of running him out of bounds, we're going to get hit with a stall in there. So Fowler's got to watch out for that. There's the restart. He gets on that ankle. Looks like he might have a tight waist. Again, that guy comes. Milford's coming up. We do a pinch and sag. He's got to watch out there getting chin whipped. Nice job of getting through. He's got to get his hips over. He's getting 2 count. Nice job getting over there. He's got to jump over quicker, get to that half Nelson. Looks like he's going to run out of time, unfortunately, but had it. He's going to pick up some back points, though. So what happens is when Milford reached back there, he's looking to get he's looking for a throw when he reaches back. The last thing you want to do on bottom, one of the last things you want to do on bottom is reach back, which is exactly what he did. Fowler does a good job of keeping his hips back there and actually turning his opponent. So we got some points, 6-0. Again, a shot there. He's got to be more aggressive on that on the crossface. So that's something I'm sure the coaching staff's going to look at during film, go over with Fowler, but he's got to get that crossface hard. He's got to get his hips back. Doesn't want to give up points here. If anything, we need Goffstown needs a couple points. Get a major here instead of just a win. He's up 6-0. A major would be another team point in scoring. So instead of 3 points for a win, a major would be 4 points. Tech is obviously 5 points, and Pin is 16 points. So he's up 6-0. 2 more points will give him a major. 14 points for Goffstown. Minute and 20 seconds left to go in the third period. Looking on that outside single. He's got to go to it. He's got to go to it. He's got to know to go to that outside single. And there he goes. He's going to it. He's got to cut the corner. Still attack that outside. He's got to circle to that ankle. Step over the ankle. Nice job. And there's the 2. So there's your major there if he can finish the period. Nice job of stepping over. He goes for the far knee, far ankle, which is better than just a far ankle. He was working the far ankle before, but now he went to the far knee, far ankle, if you can see that, which will break his opponent's hips down. He can have a suck back there when he's got to get on the chin, and he can suck his opponent back. And when he sucks his opponent back, we're going to get some back points. He's got to usually, when we look for a suck back, you can do it a few different ways. You can just suck his chin back, right? Get on the chin and suck him back into you. You kind of get your hips back and get some back points. Some people like to come over the top of the head, almost to the neck area, and suck them back that way. So there's a few variations when you suck back. Unfortunately, Fowler didn't do either of them. With 30 seconds left to go in the third period. So he's on that ankle. He's got to watch, and it looks like he was trying to Granby, which a standing Granby is not smart. So I probably wouldn't advise the Milford opponent to be doing a standing Granby, especially when your opponent has your arm. That's usually not what you want. Got to be careful he's not giving up one. Doesn't. Out of bounds. 11 seconds. He's got to stay on top. Again, the coaching staff knows this on both sides. Milford doesn't want to give up a major. Goffstown wants the major. So 8-0, needs a major here. Could potentially come down. This duel could potentially come down to one point. So any point you can get, you want in these close duels. Looks like Fowler might have got caution there on top, and now we're going to get a start. He's got a pinch and sag there. He's going to have some back points. Almost could have went with a Navy there, but could have stepped through, could have went with a Turk there. But he does. He picks up the major. And a nice job for Fowler, not giving up a point. Really nice job. That's a solid win for Nathaniel Fowler. Really good job. That was good for team points, too. Probably would have liked to see a pin there. But still a good major point. So not bad. Would have liked to see a pin, but sometimes you don't get it. We're at 132, so let's see who Milford brings out. Milford has choice here, so let's see. Goffstown could bring out a few people, so it's actually nice that Milford has choice here. So now Goffstown's got some options. Do they send out Jack St. Jean at 32? Do they bump Jack St. Jean up to 38? There's a few things that they could do. So let's see what Goffstown does. Goffstown's going to send out their captain, Jack St. Jean. Coming off a victory at the Salem Blue Devil Classic. Took first place there. Really had not too much competition. Saw a tough Nashua kid, but picked them apart pretty well. And then saw a really tough Bishop Girton freshman at the Nor'easter that Jack won 9-8. But tough match. Probably one of his closest, well, definitely his closest match this season. But good that he got it, because we're going into the Lowell Holiday Tournament right after Christmas. So that is probably the toughest New England tournament. He's in on an outside single. He's going to finish there. He's going to get 2-point takedown, swim up to a little cat's paw there. See if he can finish here, get 6 points for Goffstown. Goffstown's obviously expecting 6 here. They're expecting a pin. So he's going to come out to a quick 5-0 lead. Points are irrelevant here. Definitely need he's got a cradle locked up. He's got hip to hip, so good shape here. Milford's opponent's trying to run out. Jack's doing a really good job of bringing his opponent back in. So don't want to tech. You know, want the pin here, and he's going to get it here. That looks pretty tight. So good win for Jack. You know, just to pick up a win for him. He's going to have a few days off, going to have the weekend off. Nothing this weekend, obviously, with Christmas coming up, but then the toughest tournament in New England, besides New England's, is the Lowell Holiday Tournament. So let's see how Jack does at that tournament. Again, the highest place finisher we've had at that tournament is Jack St. Jean, so see if he can repeat that. That's going to bring us to 138 pounds with going back-to-back with captains. Captain Jack St. Jean at 32, and now Noah Rapazzo at 138. Looks like they're not going to send out. They are sending out their. Not sure if this is Ethan Briggs or not. If it is, I think it is. Ethan Briggs, solid opponent. See what Noah can do. Noah's probably going to go 32 all season, or for states, or 38. I know Jack would like to go 26. We actually was talking to Jack before tonight's duel and got down to 129, so he's close. So he's there. Been wrestling 32 all season so far. I'm sure he's going to go 26 at Lowell's. Nice job getting to that leg for Noah. Really good motion out of Noah right there. Level changing. Nice job. Noah's obviously wrestling up a little bit. Like to see him down at 32. 38's a little bit much for him. A little bit small at 38, but like our chances at 32 with Noah. Looks like Milford's in on a shot. Kind of a sloppy shot. He's got to work down to the head. Got a whizzer in. Rapazzo's got that whizzer in on top. Could work into a 3/4. I believe he got a 3/4. Can't really tell from where I'm sitting. But gets out of that shot attempt by Milford. Could shoot him out, which he does. So we got 34-18 as a team score. Grizzlies are in the lead. Gonna have some tough matches coming up. 45, 52, 60. Does a nice job getting to that outside. Again, got to go to it. We can't be stopping there. When we do, they're going to attack the ankle and come around just as Milford just did there. So we can't be stopping. Once we get in, we got to be turning that corner. We got to get to that ankle, got to get to that leg. We don't want to shoot in and stop. That's the last thing you want to do. The more we stop, the more room our opponents have to score, which is exactly what Briggs did there to Rapazzo. As they go out of bounds with 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Milford's up 2-0. And we're going to get a caution on Milford. And now we're going to have a clean start. Rapazzo right up pretty quick. He's got to cut his hips and does. Nice job getting one there, 2-1. Nice job of getting one. Let's see what Rapazzo has. See if he can hit a takedown with 20 seconds left to go. Again, a weak shot from Milford. Slow shots. He's got to watch. He's got a circle there, which he does. We don't want to be backing up. Hit a really nice duck under last week at the Nor'easter. So he's got it in him to hit those ducks, to hit those takedowns. But he's got to finish. And that's going to be the end of that first period. Again, a nice shot at the end of that first period, but we're not getting to the corner. He's got to get to that corner quicker. Goffstown's going to defer in a second. Milford's choice, they're going to choose down. So it'll be Goffstown's choice in the third. As we're trying to get a start here in the second period. Ref's calling Noah to come on. And we got a clean start. Can't really tell what Noah's working on there. Looks like he might have a cross wrist, which he does. Could step through there as we're attacking that ankle. And as the opponent breaks his hip, we step through to a Turk. Unfortunately, it didn't happen there for Noah. Looks like he might have a cradle. He's got to watch his height there. Looks like he might have had that cradle locked up as they went out of bounds. He's got to watch his height on the cradle. Don't want to force the cradle. That's the last thing you want to do when you get your height really high on that cradle, when you're trying to force a cradle. That could be damage for you as a wrestler if you're just getting too high and trying to force a cradle. Looked like Noah almost was there. Milford starting off with that switch. Noah does a really good job at stopping that switch. Again, he's getting too far out here. He's got to make sure his hips are back. He's got to come back to the side, step through that Turk. Elevate the ankle, step through the Turk. Keeps his hips back there. Wants to keep his hips back. See, when we don't keep our hips back, they can attack our leg, which is exactly what he did. Once he steps over, he's going to try to limp arm out and get his 2 reversal. And he did. So that's going to bring the score to 4-1. Noah did a good job of just basing out, minimizing the damage there. Don't want to get turned. He's got to try to get up with 48 seconds left to go. He's got to get up and get 1. It's going to be our choice going in, or Goffstown's choice going into the third. He's going to choose down again, so get another point. It might come down to a takedown in the third period, but he needs this 1 point. Going to have a caution or a false start on Raposo. And we got a clean start. Milford's attacking that ankle. 40 seconds left to go. Got to be getting that 1. Got to be getting up to your base, which he does. Get right up, cut the hips. I'm looking to switch there. Standing switch was there. Didn't work it. Coach Devery in the corner, just urging Raposo to get out, get his 1. Nice job of switching there. There's the switch. There's the standing switch. Really nice job. It's been there all day. And Raposo hit it just going out, which is great. Your opponent just wants to bring you out, so you use that momentum and hit that standing switch. Gets to that leg once again. 15 seconds left to go, but again, we're not getting to that leg. We're not coming across and finishing the shots. He's going to be down 6-2. That's a bad 2 to give up with 20 seconds left to go in that period. That's a bad 2 to give up. Could have been down just 4-2 going into the third. Instead, we're down 6-2. Raposo's going to choose down in the third. So he's going to get to work. He's got to get to work here. He needs a point, needs an escape. That's going to be 6-3, takedown 6-5. Then you let him up and take him down again. I mean, it's just going to come down to takedowns. That's going to be Milford's second caution. Again, got to be on that elbow, got to be behind the elbow as well. Step over that. Nice job stepping over that. He's going to pick up some back points. Really nice job of stepping over that. He's going to pick up 2 and 2. That's going to tie the match. Might have a spiral there. Could have corkscrewed him on top. It's going to be 6-6. Score is wrong. Now it's right. Not sure what the Milford coach is arguing, but we had 2 and 2 there, which is 4. I honestly think he's just trying to get his wrestler a breather here. There's really nothing to argue. It was 2-2, clearly 2 back points, clearly 2-point reversal. Don't know what he's arguing. I think he's just trying to get some time for his wrestler. His wrestler looks a little bit gassed, so he's just giving him some time to get some gas back in the tank. That's all that was. Not sure what you could have argued there. That was a pretty easy call for the ref. Another caution, so that's 2 cautions apiece. That was on Raposo. Nice job trapping on arm. Could have hooked a Western there on top. Choosing not to. He's going to elevate the leg, looking for a Turk. Missed it. I saw him try to go for it, but missed it. Nice job of riding on top. Again, you want to minimize damage here. If you're going to give up one, then go for a takedown, but you don't want to give up a reversal. Know where you are here. You got to be smart. He's attacking the leg, which is fine, but know where you are. You're almost on the corner. So be smart here. Give up the 1, not the 2. Know where you are. Get out of bounds. He's got to attack the arm, get his head out, which he does. He's got to scoot his hips, which he does. So nice job there. Smart on that, not collapsing his hips. Know where you are and get your opponent, shoot your opponent out. Nice job by Raposo. Smart wrestling right there. 50 seconds left to go. We're tied 6-6. Big match for Raposo here. That team scores right, which I think it is, 34-18 Goffstown. Clean start. Noah's attacking that near ankle, broke his opponent down. Nice job. He's got to be quicker, though. He's going to look for possibly a turn there again. Milford's known for doing some rolls, so we got to be watching of that. He's got to get his height back. Doesn't. He's going to give up 1 here. 28 seconds left to go on the third. Needs a takedown. We're down 7-6. So this is going to be big. See if he can get a takedown with 15 seconds left to go. Not sure what he went for there. Not sure what he went for there. He's going to have to try to get a restart. Not sure what not sure what he was thinking there. Not smart wrestling there at the end of that period for Rapazzo. Not sure what he was thinking with that, but he's only got 2 seconds. He's down 9-6. Milford opponent was gassed too. That's the shame of this. He's taking some injury time. I just think he's completely gassed, which Rapazzo should have saw and taken advantage of that. Didn't. So that's going to be an unfortunate loss for Rapazzo there at 138. Got to be smart there. I think that match was in our hands. 7-6 with 28 seconds left to go. You got to know there's 28 seconds, which is a decent amount of time to set up your shot. You don't want to force anything. It looks like he just got quick. Tried to force something that wasn't there, then got out of position at the end there. Don't know what he was trying when he got out of position. So, again, early in the season, those are mistakes that you can't be making later in the season. So Noah's going to take a loss here with 2 seconds left. Really not much you can do. Probably a get in his. Smart false start there. That's his third caution, so that's going to be a point for Milford. So not a big deal. Point doesn't mean anything. I mean, you try to hit a roll, maybe turn them. Even so, there's not enough time. So tough loss for Rapazzo. Hopefully later in the season you're winning those matches, not losing them. So that's going to bring our team score to 34-21 in favor of Goffstown, which brings us to 145 pounds. We're going to see Andrew McCarthy at 145 pounds, another freshman. I believe Goffstown's got 20 freshmen on the team. I mean, great numbers for Goffstown this year. Just a young team. Hopefully they all stick with it. If they do, I think in 2 years this team's going to be really, really something to look for. The key is keeping the team. You know, they're going to take some lumps this year, maybe next year, but they got to keep that core group together. And I think good things are gonna happen. So here we are, 145 pounds. It looks like they are sending out their junior, Trevor Granier. And it's going to be McCarthy for Milford. For Goffstown. So let's see what McCarthy can do. Just a freshman. He's got some middle school experience. Really strong wrestler at 145. Got to work on some technique, doing some things that in middle school you can get away with, in high school you can't. But again, early in the season, those things that are happening early in the season just can't happen later. But good learning experiences. So let's see what McCarthy can do here at 145. In front of the home crowd. Does a nice job of getting out of that tie. Don't want to be ear to ear. Reshots there. So just a little bit quicker. Got to be a little bit quicker on shots and reshots. Doing some nice job of level changing. Looks like he's in on a single. McCarthy does a good job of cross facing, but he's going to get taken down. And it looks like Milford's going to be up 2-0. Minute and 13 seconds left to go in the first period. 34-21. Milford's doing a good job of following McCarthy. McCarthy looking, don't want to get in that position. He's got a Washington ride, sort of. McCarthy kind of put himself in it. Don't want to be reaching back there. He's got a half on that side. McCarthy does actually a good job of rolling through that. He's got a tight waist ankle on top. Doing a good job of riding on top. So Milford needs to hip in here, get some back points, and does. Picks up a pin there. Again, that's a move you don't want to be pinned on. Not too hard to get out of that position. So again, things that are happening now, learning experiences. You know, McCarthy's just a freshman. His first match under the light. It's intimidating. That brings us up to 152 pounds. We're going to see Emilio Barrier. And for Milford, looks like it's a freshman, Mason Dursey. If they send him, they might have jostled the lineup. But it does look like they're sending Mason Dursey out, so it's going to be freshman versus junior here. So let's see what Emilio can do at 152 pounds. Emilio, really quick shots. So the thing with Barrier is finishing the shots, getting to the hip, turning the corner. He's actually pretty quick in on the shots. He gets in pretty deep, fairly easy actually on a lot of his opponents. It's just a matter of finishing, getting to the corner quicker, not stopping. Working for ties. Does a nice job of getting that dump. Got to cut the hip. Nice job of coming through that hip there. Really nice dump. Cutting the hip there. Looks like he might have a cross wrist series. Looks like he does. Nice job on that cross wrist. You know, Coach Detchen, Coach Devrian, Coach Paraskevas were talking up that cross wrist series. Could do a lot from it. He's got to try to punch through there, and there he does. Nice job. He's got that hip. He's got to elevate the elbow, and that's going to bring his opponent's shoulders down to the mat. He's got to elevate that elbow up to the sky. He's doing that. Really good job. He's going to pick up the fall. Could have picked up the fall there. I saw back. I saw both shoulders down. It looks like he's going to get it here. I don't see how he can't pick up the fall there. There he goes. Nice job. Nice pin for Barrier. Did a really good job there. Nice quick shot. Good takedown. Nice cross wrist series. Just everything the coaching staff have been working on the last couple of weeks. So I'm glad to see that. That's a good win for Emilio. Needed that next season. He's wrestled some really tough opponents at the Classic, at the Nor'easter. So that's a huge win in front of his home crowd. So nice job. I'm happy to see that at 152 for Barrier. So let's see at 160. It looks like we're going to send out Esteban Cabello. Probably, I think, arguably the strongest kid that Goffstown has. He is just a physically strong athlete. Doesn't have much time on the mat, so his technique isn't there yet, but one of the strongest kids I've ever seen wrestle, to be honest. Just wins on brute strength. A couple of weeks ago, he was actually getting pinned and bridged off getting pinned and pinned his opponent, which was just sheer strength. He's going to have his hands full, though, tonight at 160. He's got Maverick Dodier. Tough on top. Looks like he's coming up to a throw. Kind of looked right into that, you know, and that's some stuff that's just, he's not used to it. He's not used to the feel of the matches yet. You know, that was easy to see. I saw that coming from a mile away. It looks like that's all he was looking for, was coming up for that throw, and Esteban played right into it, unfortunately, but that's some stuff that it's just a learning experience for Esteban. He's got to learn to just take with it. Probably one of the, like I said, the nicest, the strongest kid on the team, also the nicest, one of the nicest. So he's just got to learn from things. But a good win in front of the home crowd tonight. Again, opened up on the road against Winnicott, then the Keene, so a tough traveling schedule for Goffstown. They had the Salem Blue Devil Classic. They had the Nor'easter tournament in Hollis Brookline. So first home match of the year. A lot of freshmen in the lineup, a lot of fresh faces in the lineup, a lot of athletes who are wrestling under the mat light for the first time. That's a scary experience, but nonetheless, Goffstown picks up a good win here, 40-33. They'll be off for a little bit. Nothing this weekend, no competition this weekend, and then we'll be moving into next Thursday and Friday for a 2-day tournament at Lowell, at the Songus Arena for the Lowell Holiday Tournament. which will be a tough test for this young team, but a good test for Jack St. Jean Sr. Expect a lot of good things out of him. So until next time, tonight's duel, 40-33 in favor of your Grizzlies.